Mike Johnson's speakership is over. He needs to do the right thing to resign and allow us to move forward in a controlled process. If he doesn't do so, he will be vacated.
Well, with all due respect, you didn't give me a plan for the speaker's role. And again, does this mean you are going to file that motion at some point?
So that was Maria Bartiromo, seemingly defensive about Mike Johnson. She's like, you still haven't given me your plan on who exactly would become speaker next. And she did not, Marjorie Greene, provide a plan because she doesn't have one. She doesn't know. She doesn't even know exactly when she's gonna do this. She headed into the weekend like mad at Mike Johnson, swearing at Mike Johnson or whatever. But again, she doesn't have an actual plan. She's just throwing a fit. That's what she's doing. She expects that she, I think 2-term congresswoman from a solidly red district in Georgia, should be the speaker effectively. She's not gonna run for it, but she gets to decide. If she doesn't like that we're providing aid to our ally in the wake of a barbaric invasion, then that's it. You just don't get to be speaker anymore. The question will be, is she right? Does she actually have the numbers to do that? Now, that said, I wanna give you a little bit more of the argument here and then we'll discuss.
The people criticizing me are not the American people. The American people agree with me, and I've talked to them and I've seen it all over. They are outraged, and what they're saying is they don't want to vote for Republicans anymore.
Yeah, she's just an idiot. She's just a moron. Like, at least say your constituents. It's a super red district. It's possible that maybe they're against the aid, although plenty of Republicans are perfectly happy to see that aid go to Ukraine. But the idea that you just stated, no, the whole country just hates it. They don't want the aid. It's just small-minded person grappling with a world that scares them. And I guess they're gonna try to do the vote. It looks like the Democrats are probably gonna end up saving Mike Johnson. You've had some who've said that they would not vote to save him. Others have said that they would. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you.
I mean, I just want to zoom out because I find it really upsetting that it will be Democrats who save Mike Johnson on the basis of supplying more weapons to fund and foment more wars abroad. And I say that as progressives, we come at the anti-war issue not in order to allow Putin or allow Israel or allow any authoritarian to do whatever the hell they want against a population, but we come at it because we believe in dialogue, diplomacy, also ramping down the military industrial complex that is making a literal killing right now on all of this. That's the kind of foreign policy that we want to see, and that Democrats, there's barely anyone carrying a flag or candle for that in either the House or the Senate. And so I'm just annoyed because we are also progressives who are told every time we want universal health care, paid family leave, reigning in climate chaos, anything, education, anything for the American people, we're told by those same centrist Democrats, how are you gonna pay for it? As they save Mike Johnson's behind, the guy who's probably, if Donald Trump is elected, going to usher in even more tax breaks for billionaires. So it is, look, and this is not to say I don't think that Ukraine should be supported in their defense of their own sovereignty, but we need a light at the end of the tunnel here when it comes to like, are there diplomatic solutions? Are we moving forward on this? What is the key to that rather than simply making more and more enemies? And again, I say that with a hashtag no Donald Trump, who's like, I'll just go and talk to Putin and it tickle his, whatever, like, where, you know what I'm saying? Like that's his.
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, it's probably.
Stop. You had a good point going.
I'm having a great point. I'm really derailing myself.
Yes.
But finally, final thoughts on this. I'm interested whether Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren will vote for this. This is all one big package, meaning Ukraine aid is tied to Israel aid, it's all gonna be one thing in the Senate. Bernie has said, I don't believe in any more weapons to Netanyahu and for this genocide. He doesn't say genocide, but to this war. Is he gonna do it? Are they gonna make good on it? That is interesting. It's endless when it comes to war. They get whatever they want, and we want a little bit of just anything. $15 minimum wage, 15.
100%, yeah. And by the way, for the rest of my life, whenever I see like $60 billion, I immediately think that's the rough estimate for state level college for anyone who wants to go to it basically for a year. That's what I think of. And so I don't like the money going out the door either. I don't like the funding for conflicts, but if we're gonna fund a conflict, kind of seems like the ones who are being like mass marched off to Russia or thrown in graves and forests kind of seems like the one to defend. So again, I understand the concern there, and maybe it's not a foregone conclusion that it'll pass the Senate. I think it probably has a pretty good chance, but we will have to see. And I will say, Marjorie Greene goes on in those remarks to say, she sort of alluded to it there, that she thinks because of Mike Johnson, Republicans will not want to vote for Republicans in November. And maybe that's true, but I think if people don't want to vote for Republicans, I think everything that you're doing and everything you stand for is a great reason for plenty of people to not want to cast a vote for your side in November. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?